Hey everyone, welcome to Dubventures and welcome to another video. Today's video, guys, is going to be about a beginner's guide to van life. We get asked so many questions from you guys about all the different things, you know, like to do with van life and like try to get some advice and things. So today we're just going to tell you some of the things in our experience of 5 years of van life, what you need to know. So first of all, let's just say you've already got your camper van. Do not, under any circumstance, if you buy a camper van, just buy it and then just leave it sat on your drive all year round and maybe use it like once or twice. Go on, guys, you've got such an opportunity there to be able to get out there and travel and everything. So the first thing I'll say is, if you're going to get into van life, be certain that you know that you will actually use it. So guys, when we first got our very first camper van, it was a panel van. Now the important thing that we knew is when we was using our camper van is, when we travel, we knew that we wasn't going to campsites or well camping just to sit in the van and sort of like look out the window. We always knew that we was going to be travel to go and explore the places it was going to. For that reason, we knew straight away that when we got our build started, that the important thing was that we had a comfortable sleeping area. This is why in that camper van that we had before we've got the one that we've got now, we got a full-size rock and roll bed. Now a lot of people used to say to us, yeah, but you don't have any cooking facilities, you know, you don't have like a lounge area, things like that. Like I said, that's because we knew we was always going to go and explore. So the important thing was that, like, you know, after a day of being out and things, we wanted a comfortable bed that was spacious and everything. That's why we got a full-size rock and roll bed. Now it goes without saying, when you're getting into van life, the very first thing that you need to do is you need to pick what van that you want. What I will say is, don't get a van just because like other people, what you might have seen on social media and things, like, you know, say that that's the best thing to have. Because if you buy a very small van and you've got like a family and, you know, you've got like big dogs or pets that you take with you and everything, it's not going to work, is it? And then when it comes to like the point where, you know, you want to do some traveling things, you're going to be like, oh well, you're going to have to get someone to look after the kids, you're going to have to get someone to look after the dogs and things. It's like, if it's a thing that you're going to do and it's a family thing, pick the van size that's going to be right for you, not what like other people's like say. It needs to work for you. One thing that you could do like once you've got your van is, you know, because this is exactly what we did when we got our first camper van. So we had nothing in the van or anything. We bought a blow-up mattress, and you know, you could sort of like try like a few different things. Put your blow-up mattress like, you know, in the van, put it in a certain position, and then say to yourself, oh, if I had some like cooking facilities here, would it affect how I sleep? If I put like a lounge area here and things, just gives you a bit of an idea. Because the thing is, what you don't want to do is you don't want to do your build and then come back and then start changing things and go, well, this didn't work, so just go and do some like one overnight stays in places, or just park on your drive and try it, because these are the things that we did. A question that we get asked a lot is, and you know, this is like from people that are like getting into van life that don't have a van yet, should they rent a camper van to sort of like see what it's like for the weekend? Now, my honest opinion is, I think if you're going to rent a camper van for the weekend, you're probably going to get like a false representation of what van life is like, because when you go out and let's just say you're staying at a campsite, you're not going to know like how to use all the facilities on the van. Let's say you get to the campsite and like it's raining and things, and you're just going to be like sat in the van, you're not going to be like doing anything. Let's just say that like the person that you're with is sat there and they're like, oh, you know, they don't really enjoy like what they're doing and things, and then you can't find things in the van. When we first started doing our travel, that's the kind of things that like we were doing. If you do decide that you're going to rent a camper van, you know, and you're going to try it, don't just like rent one camper van. Rent some camper vans that are different sizes, because it gives you like a different sort of like idea of what it's like having different size camper vans. So you've got the van that you wanted, you know, you're ready to go and you're ready to get your conversion done if it's not already converted. Now very quickly, if you are going to buy a van that's already converted, again, be certain that that layout is going to work for you, because we have met so many people that have bought a camper van and it's already converted and it's got like a cooker in there and it's got like your fridge and like all the facilities, and they turn around and say, oh yeah, I'm not going to use them because I don't want to cook in the van and things like that. And it's like, yeah, well, you could have like used that space for something else. So, you know, do choose the van that you're going to get. It's such an important thing. It's probably the biggest tip I can give you, you know, like with the design and everything. Now very quickly, the last camper van that we had, we just had a full-size rock and roll bed in it, as I said before, because that's what was important to us. We had storage under the bed, and then we just had a portable cooker and things that we used. We had a diesel heater with the leisure battery fitted, worked fantastic for us. Now the thing is, with the camper van that we've got now, as you can see, we've got our bedding area, we've got like a cooking area here, and then we've got like the seating area that we've got here. Now the thing is, we've designed this camper van to work for us. Now, we've done it like this way because we wanted a permanent bed that we could get on. We wanted a seating area that we could turn into a lounge area. We've got the garage space where we've got like the storage and everything. We designed this camper van to have it done for us. It's got to work for you. Let me just like quickly tell you like a tip that we've got. Our first camper van that we got, we didn't have a diesel heater in it, and for a long time, probably a couple of years, we didn't have a heater in it, because I always said we don't need a heater, you know, we can just like use duvets and things, and if you go to a campsite you can like use like a hookup system, you know, where you can plug like heaters in and things. And then we decided, because we was doing like a lot more travel, to actually get a diesel heater. Now when we got this diesel heater, let me tell you, it changed everything. It made us realise that we can do a lot more camping, we can do well camping, and having a heater, it changes everything you've had. The leisure battery fitted and the diesel heater, that was the very first job that we got done in our camper van. Like I said, you know, not everybody has to have a diesel heater or anything, but what I will say is from our experience, if you're converting your camper van or you're buying a camper van, do get one that's got a diesel heater in it, and do budget into sort of like your build. Get a heater fitted in your van. It gives you so many more opportunities, especially to travel in winter. And you know what? Winter van life travel, it's amazing. Biggest mistakes that we made, sort of like, especially in the first few years, and I ain't gonna lie to you, we still do it now, is we take too many things with us when we travel. We do it all the time, and I know a lot of you guys will probably do the same. Put it in the comments below, do you take too many things? We've had it before where we've took like a lot of food, like, you know, a lot of bedding, like, you know, loads of different like camping equipment, you know, all different cookers and like, you know, all the different things that you're going to take for a camping trip. And then you realise when you come home, they only used half of what you took. So, keeping clean on the road. You know what? We don't have a shower in our camper van. Again, we've built this camper van the way that we wanted it. We designed it the way that we wanted it. And you know what? Because of our experience of van life, we know we don't need to have a shower in the camper van, because you know what? No matter where you go in the UK, there's going to be somewhere that you can pretty much have a shower, because a lot of campsites now, they're actually allowing you to actually go in now and not stay overnight or anything, but you can pay to have a shower. There's a lot of service stations that, you know, you can get these facilities. And you know what? Baby wipes on the days in between that you don't have showers, they do go a long ways. That brings us on to toilet facilities. Do you know what, guys? You can just go online, and there's so many portable toilets and things that you can get. And the same thing, a lot of campsites are allowing you to dispose of your waste and things like that. Not being able to find a public toilet, they're everywhere. You can search them, you can find them. So another tip that I'll give you guys, now this again is a really important one, and we've actually done this. So when you're buying sort of like all your camping equipment or your cooking facilities and things like that, you're probably going to buy a lot of stuff that you don't need. You're also probably going to buy a lot of things that might be cheaper because you're thinking, oh, you know, we're going camping and things. Let me tell you now, buying the cheaper items to put in the camper van things, it doesn't work. We have bought some like items before, and you know, after like using them a couple of times, you know, there's like burn marks on them and things, you know, and like the cheaper things, they generally don't last as long. Now what you need to think is, in your house, like you've got some like items that have like lasted years and years, and like because you paid a little bit extra money, you bought quality. It's no different in your camper van, guys. Buy some quality items. Now you've probably seen like on a lot of our videos, we use a lot of like Ridge Monkey items, and you know what? Because of the quality of them, and we use them all the time, that's all we need. We don't need to take loads of like different items. We just stick to like the very basics. Same with your knife and forks. A lot of these camping places, they sell sort of like camping knives and forks and things like that. They cost a lot of money. Just go to a supermarket and just buy like a knife and fork set that you would use in your house. They're probably going to last a lot longer. So well, that brings us on to one of the last things where, you know, we can give you guys tips. Now the thing is, this video, I could do this video and it would last a long time and tell you about all the different things, but I'm just trying to give you like the very basic sort of like you know, a beginner's guide to van life and that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about campsites. Now with campsites, if you've never been to a campsite before, you're probably thinking, I don't know what to do, how to do it and things. So basically, campsites, what you do is you can either book online, ring them, and when you get there, generally a lot of campsites, they have check-in times and check-out times. A lot of campsites are very, very flexible as well. It's like, you know, if you're going to get there sort of like after like the check-in time is like, you know, you've passed the check-in time. A lot of campsites, they will actually like arrange it with you so you can sort of like just turn up and, you know, you don't have to like be at reception or anything. One thing I will say is if you are sort of like booking a campsite and things and, you know, you don't know exactly what time you're going to be there, try and find out the pitch number that you're on, because if you get there, at least you can go to your pitch, and then obviously, you know, like when the like reception staff turn up and things like that, you will be able to then sort it out. Because we've done it before where we've turned up at a campsite, there's been no one there, but we've not known our pitch number, so we've had to like park outside the campsite, because obviously we're not going to go and park on a different pitch because that might not be ours. So when you book your campsite, try and get your campsite pitch before you actually get there. The thing is with campsites as well, a lot of them are pet friendly. It means that you can take your pet with you, but don't assume because it's pet friendly that it means that when you get there, like, your pet's going to like have the time of its life and there's going to be walks and everything. We've stayed at a pet friendly campsite before, and when we got there, there was nowhere to take your dog in the campsite for a walk, but then when you went outside the campsite, you was on like a very, very busy main road. Just because it's pet friendly does not necessarily mean that when you get there, there's going to be like a lot of like places for your pet to go. So it's something that, again, you do need to do your research on. Some campsites are also adult only sites, so again, you need to like do check. So when you're booking your campsite, do have a good look, and all the questions that you've got, like, you know, do be certain that they're answered before you book it. Another thing with campsites is as well, sometimes when you're looking at like different campsites, the prices can sort of like be different in that, because if you're a member of like certain clubs, you do get discount in some campsites. So again, if you're going to stay in a lot of campsites, it might be something that you want to look at. If you stay at a campsite, let me just tell you something that again is very important. Most campsites at night time are very dark. Like, they don't have like any lighting and things, but that's so that everybody can have like a comfortable night stay and everything. So if you're going to stay at a campsite and you're getting into van life, I do strongly suggest that you get a very powerful quality torch. So if you are looking to buy a torch, I really do highly recommend one of these high quality Woburn torches. Now these, as you can see, they're so small, and they've got the USB charger just on top there. It has 3 different settings, and it's a very, very powerful torch. We really do recommend them, and I will put a link in the description. Another tip that I'll give you guys is get some heat proof mats. When you're cooking, you'll be so surprised, especially if you're cooking in your camper van, how handy these come in. You take like your hot kettle off and things like that, and you've got nowhere to put it, these come in so handy. So I do suggest that you get some of these. If you don't have a shower or a sink in your camper van, you can get like, you know, collapsible bowls. All the items that we've mentioned in this video, guys, we do have an official Amazon store. If you do want to check it out, the first link in the description and the pinned comment, if you click on that, you will be able to get access to our Amazon store. If you have any other tips, put them in the comments below. So until the next one, guys, do hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.